Per request of Becky, tonight's show is going to be Dreams. So I titled to be funny, since I'm in a rock band, titled the show, Dream On, Dream It Till Your Dreams Come True. Dream on, dream it till your dreams come true. So if you would have any dreams that you would like for me to help you interpret prepared, we're going to start here in a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, so that gives you time to write maybe 2 paragraphs at most, hopefully a paragraph, what you have dreamed about recently that I can maybe shed light on for you. Thank you, Becky, for sharing. Hello, Carl. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Becky. Hello, Candace. Hello, Cheryl. Everyone here, please say hi. Just say hi. 3 functions. 1, 2, enter. Hello, Allie. That way I know you're here, because Facebook is not always accurate about who's in the room. Feel free to go inside and connect as I do. You might have your own way to do it, or you can follow my lead. Close your eyes. Breathe with the first intention to connect to Source, connect to God, to connect to your Creator. Second breath, the intention is to be aware of that connection to Source. And you feel it, just like that. You feel a presence, don't you? That's how easy it is to connect to Soul. Third breath, with the intentions of being open to receive whatever may represent the highest love and light and grace for you, to the level that you can ingest, digest, process, and output purposefully, and also in alignment with your highest good. 3 simple, delicious breaths to connect to Creator. That's all it takes. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Alex. So we're going to start in 3 minutes. Let people collect. Dream on, dream until your dreams come true. Every time when I look in the mirror.
I am one with God. This is my true Guru's gift. The primal one is perfectly pure. The primal God is pure.
Hello, Janelle.
He is within all and beyond all. Everyone meditates. All souls meditate on you, O true Creator. All souls are one with
All right, we'll get started.
all souls come from you. O saints, meditate on God and all pains will fly away.
Welcome everyone who is here. Again, please say hi in the comment box. I'd like to know that you're here. It helps me to connect to the energy that is going to be moving about, and it's already starting to move. I can feel it. I did not consciously put my hands on my head. They just did, and as soon as I did, I felt the connection just like that. Tonight's presentation is Dream On, Dream Until Your Dreams Come True. It's going to be about dreams but about your visual dreams, your daydreaming, that which you want to experience and create in your life. Everything that represents dreaming in all of its many myriads of aspects. If you would, if you feel comfortable with it, please share this video feed to you all. It may help someone who could be in a serious situation, who's having difficulty right now in their life, and a reoccurring dream keeps finding its way into their experience. And maybe something I say to someone, or something you ask, or something you say, can trigger someone else and put them in a space of peace and ease about something they've been wrestling with. Many people are going to be watching this presentation in the future. You can bet. Center of Light Radio is going to be going to 2 hours, not this Monday, but next Monday. Thank you, Mr. Dan Hoquist, for constantly pressing on me about it. I applaud you, sir, for staying on me and making that happen. If you would, go to YouTube, if you have not already in the past. Go to youtube.com/Center of Light Radio. Subscribe to my page. Give me some thumbs up on some of the archived videos, interviews on Center of Light Radio. Also, maybe leave me a few comments. It would help my visibility greatly. RPM, recognize, plug in, and manifest your life. Things are moving for me, y'all, really, really intensely, exponentially. And I hope this is happening to you. If not, I want to help get you there if that's something you are choosing. RPM, recognize, what is it? And we know what the it is that I'm speaking of. What is it, really? What is it? Once I find it, how do I plug into it? Consciously. You already plugged into it. There's no way you cannot be. You would go out just like a light if you were. You unplug a light from the wall, it goes out. You can never unplug yourself from Creator. You've always been plugged in. Now it's a simple matter of being conscious of the fact, while we're in this body, while we're hanging out in this meat suit for 75 plus years. And once I recognize it and I begin to plug into it, everything begins to happen naturally. Recognize, plug in, and manifest your life. Go to centeroflightradio.com or KeithAnthonyBlanchard.com. Either one will get you there. Click on the red Ferrari. It'll take you to the RPM page. It'll tell you what you get and what you will create. You're going to have lots of one-on-one time with me to make sure that that dream, that you will dream until it comes true. Be it to remove a block, greater degrees of intuition, spiritual expansion, contacting your deceased loved one, which will be a part of this presentation tonight about dreams and lucid dreaming. Centeroflightradio.com, bottom of the page, click on the red car. It'll take you to my program, my lifelong work. Yep. One moment. There we go. I am about to submit The Divine Principle, my bestseller. We did it on our own, myself and Renee Brown. As well as my book about the holy man behind me in the window. I went to sea in India in the year 2000 for the love of God as the title of the book, A Spiritual Journey. I was contacted by a worldwide major publishing company asking me to fashion those two books together in a chronological order. The second book, believe it or not, goes all the way back to my very early childhood, my youth, 6 years old. The Divine Principle does not. So I'm piecing this all together in a chronological timeline, and we're going to make it one volume, and I came up with the title. Check this out. This represents every phase of what I've been going through as I've been doing these bursts of light and before with these two books. The Divine Principle was the first of my true God experiences. The book is called Homecoming, Initiation, Integration, and Graduation. Making contact with Spirit in 1996, starting The Divine Principle was my initiation. Many years later, when I wrote For the Love of God, A Spiritual Journey, is when I went to see this man. And when I was on his ashrams, things began to integrate inside of me. all the knowledge that I've had before became solidified when I saw God solidified in front of me in the form of this man. So all the wealth of knowledge I had, this will be analogous to the dreams we're going to be talking about in this presentation tonight. Solidified for me when I saw God solidified in the form of a human being. The way, now listen to this, talk about coincidence, miracle, alignment. When I wrote For the Love of God, actually halfway through the divine principle, excuse me, I had a dream. I was sleeping one night and I was in dreamscape. This man who's been coming to me for a year before in my dreams makes an appearance that night, taps me on my spiritual knee, brings me to a state of full-blown conscious awareness, and says, Keith, come to India to see me. I was conscious. I was hyper-conscious, as conscious as, if not more so than I am right now talking to you through this platform. I was hyper-conscious. And he tells me to come to see him in India. Tells me to come see him in India. Didn't know how I was going to put it all together. I didn't. I was excited about the idea. And I had to sit back and ask myself the question, out of all the books I've read about his life and all my spiritual experiences with him in Dreamscape, when he said, come to India, I said, how will I get there? When will I do this? I've never done such a thing. I don't have a passport, blah, blah, blah. Human logic, trying to have a dialogue with God in the form of an avatar. I woke up in the morning excited about the possibility, still not sure if all this is real. So I took a deep breath and I said, God, Sai Baba, Jesus, if you want me to go to India, I'm letting this go. And I let it go. What I'm telling you is the absolute truth. 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from a lady by the name of Debbie Jabor. My phone rings. I say, hello. Hi, Keith. My name is Debbie Jabor. I said, hi, Debbie. What can I do for you? She says, Keith, word got to me through a mutual friend that you want to go to India to see a holy man. I said, yes, this is true. She said, Keith, I'm a flight attendant. I have some companion passes for the year that are about to expire, and I would hate that to happen knowing you want to go to India to see a holy man. Can I give you a first-class round-trip ticket? So I went to India 3 months later to stand in the presence of this little 5'1", towering divinity, spiritual man. And I was literally pinching myself because I had a dream. When he walked in, I was like, oh, no pun intended. Oh my God. That's God. And I'm pinching myself, metaphorically, saying, is this real? I had a dream 3 months prior that became realized. I had a dream that became realized. This is very, very important information for this presentation. Keith had a dream of, to the magnitude of divinity, realized. This is not a bragging point for Keith. I want you to take this in because you know damn well I am just like you in every possible way. I'm your brother next door. I don't stand on the platform in front of a whole bunch of people with a monkey suit. I don't do that. It doesn't make me better or less. I just don't do that. This is me. So if this happened to the everyday guy next door, that I was able to summon with an open heart and an open mind, my intention of making contact with the consciousness that governs the entire universe and omniverses, you can too. There is no difference whatsoever. I had a dream Slow down, people. Invisible people. I had a dream that became realized. You can too. Let's get down to the broadcast. Let's talk about dreams and how we can interpret them and what they mean. So if everyone would have your dream paragraph, 2 paragraphs at most, ready while you're watching this presentation. Go ahead and write it out, but don't send it. Maybe write it in another document or have it written out ready to push the button of go, however you want to do it, if you want to participate. Or, here's a new idea. When I ask for them, you can either hit send and put them in the forum, or you can call me. I'll divulge my phone number a little later. Get you on the air. Why not? It's fun. Dreams are there as a tool. They're not just made up movies that the unconscious mind scrambles and throws at you at random because that's just stuff you've been thinking about. That's not what they are. This is how important they are. Symbols are the language of dreams. A symbol can invoke a feeling or an idea and often has a much more profound and deeper meaning than any one word could convey. At the same time, these symbols can leave you confused and wondering what that dream was all about. Acquiring the ability to interpret your dreams is a powerful tool. In analyzing your dreams, you can learn about your deep secrets and hidden feelings. Remember that no one is a better expert at interpreting your dreams than yourself. Is the video still freezing up? Hello, Peggy. Hello, Dorothy, Chloe, Michelle. I noticed my computer was acting a little funny. I think it might be Facebook that's freezing up. Is everything okay now? There's no point in continue because I like doing my work of quality. Hello, Peggy. I don't like shoddy work. It's not a reflection of what I want to output. Cheryl says, not me, it's going good. Cheryl, let me then ask you, has it frozen up once? No, it has not. Great. Let's keep moving forward. So right now we're talking about the importance of understanding dreams and how important they can be in your life. To guide you with your dreams interpretations, we have interpreted over, this is a particular place I got this information from. Dreams interpretations by anyone is basically has no final say in what they mean to you. Only you can figure that out. There is no one dream fits all program. They're guides. Every detail, even the most minute element in your dream, is important and must be considered when analyzing them. Each symbol represents a feeling, a mood, a memory, or something from your unconscious. Look closely at the characters, animals, objects, places, emotions, and even color and numbers that are depicted in your dreams. Even the most trivial symbol can be significant. This dictionary that I'm reading this from. Okay, so let me skip to that. With practice, you can gain an understanding of the cryptic messages your dreams are trying to tell you. For example, if you have a fear of dogs in your open-eyed life, what happens when a big dog comes upon you? someone has a passion for dogs, what happens in their open-eyed life when a big dog comes upon you? It works exactly the same in the dream world. Because that big dog you were afraid of, the reason you ran from it last night in your dream is because you thought it was real. Somebody else would have went, come here, boy. The dreamscape world reality and the waking-eyed reality are the same. But don't kid yourself for a moment, my dear friends. Again, when you ran from that big dog last night in your dream, it's because you thought it was real. You had no awareness that your consciousness, that your body was sleeping on the bed. That's why you ran. And now that your eyes are open and you're feeling a chair against your bottom side and you're hearing my voice, convincing, isn't it? You think this is real. It is a reality, but it's not real. Imagine when you awaken spiritually or even pass to the other side through death, the greatest transition in life. Imagine the awakening effect you're going to have when you move to that experience. We all know what it feels like to be sleeping at night. And all of a sudden morning comes and you feel that pull, that tug that brings you slowly but back to the room, that brings your awareness to the room. You know that you're waking up and starting your day. And all of a sudden you're now fully into the body. Imagine that happening in a spiritual level when you spiritually illuminate. Reality begins to open up. Imagine when you pass to the other side, the reality that you are bathed in. You're basking in the light. So let me read from my bestseller, The Divine Principle, and it's going to make a lot of sense, and after which we'll get down to some dream interpreting. Let me see who's in the room. Hello, John. Hello, Nathan. Hello, Dorothy, Becky, Trudy, Cheryl, Peggy. Everyone I've named before. Lauren, hi. Michelle, Geraldine, Deanie, Joe Pennell, Sue. Everyone right on time. Elwood. I need some water, always. Again, paragraph, at most 2 paragraphs. Get your dream that you want me to help you interpret ready for when I ask for them. From The Divine Principle, God and I's dialogue over 8 years. Actually, over about a year and a half. Wrapping it up after about the 4th year maybe. And the rest was waiting for opportunity and fashioning a book and formatting it. From The Divine Principle, Spear and I talking about dreams. I asked Spirit the question, why do I only have these way out experiences when I'm sleeping and not when I am awake? Spirit says, because during sleep, you lose the very awareness of your body that you need to stay in it. And because as long as you are sleeping, you cannot be lured into the temptations of the external world that your mind and body crave. I say, sometimes I have dreams. This is really, really important for about this much of the reading that I'm going to do. Really, really take this in. And not will you only become better and really, really darn good at not only interpreting your dreams and what they mean, but becoming present when they're happening. Because when you're in there, and if you tell yourself when you're in there, oh my God, is this a dream? Tell yourself yes. It'll bring you a state to absolute pinpoint awareness like you are in this forum with me right now. You don't want to only interpret your dreams, do you? You also want to be in them fully and to engage, because it is another reality. It is a virtual reality, which is no different than this virtual room, this virtual reality you're experiencing here with me. We're using the room as a place of entrance. The virtual reality, this is a virtual room. This is a dream. So the next piece of information, really, really take it in, because it will press home the lesson to not help you only interpret your dreams and not only be present when you're dreaming with your eyes closed, but also present when you're sleeping with your eyes awake. I tell Spirit, sometimes I had dreams that seemed so real that I wake up thinking I was actually there. God says, Keith, you were. I said, I was? If you were not there, where were you? But aren't dreams just metaphors for something else? And your life on earth is not? I say, I see your point. Spirit continues. You are dreaming right now, dear one. You may think just because your physical eyes are open that you are awake. But even when they are open, there is a part of you that still sleeps. I say, this dream versus reality thing is still confusing me. I shall effort to clear it up then. When you have a dream, it is a dream, and at the same time, it is not. Take this in. In your waking state of consciousness, when everything seems to be tangible, that too is a dream. The reality is that both provide you with experiences that are integral to your growth. The dichotomy is that since both are dreams dreamed from my mind, meaning spirit, everything in your waking and sleeping life is an illusion as well as real. I understand that, but if I'm faced with two scenarios, how can I decide which one is the higher and which one is the lower? Spirit continues. Your ability to differentiate between the two is what makes one more real than the other. The one that you decide is a closer representation of me, Spirit, is the higher reality. The other is likely to be the illusion or the lower reality. But keep in mind, this is only relative, because the decision between higher and lower can vary from person to person. And even though you deem something to be either real or illusory, do not lose sight of the real truth, that God is the dreamer behind both. Remember this, and the you that sleeps with your eyes open will awaken to truly see my reality. Does everyone dream when they sleep? God says yes. But why doesn't everyone remember their dreams? Spirit continues. Because many do not like what they see when they dream, so they subconsciously shut themselves off from remembering them. Someone in this forum feels this way, or know this to be true for themselves. What's the difference between an out-of-body experience and a dream? You must understand that there is no such thing as out-of-body. And I say, but what about in death? God says, the soul does not leave the body leaves the soul. Or said another way, the body is no longer animated, at least in the time frame of that person's life. However, the reality of that person's past remains active in the universe, and so does his or her body, so no one really ever dies. What happens in an out-of-body experience or in death is that one's consciousness shifts to another dimension of spirit. That's what creates the sensation of movement or flying. In either case, you really do not go anywhere except deeper within. Because the soul is everywhere and everything. The difference between an out-of-body experience and a dream is that one is an experience of another aspect of the soul, and the other is an experience of the mind and its many ideas. That monkey we always talk about. Or even a state of clarity. But I'd say for the most part, the monkey. Does everyone have out-of-body jaunts nightly? Spirit says you all go somewhere else to learn about yourselves in the universe. But not everyone remembers these trips either. Why not? Is it for the same reason that people don't want to remember their dreams? Because what happened while they were out there wasn't pleasant? Spirit says, no, not always. Then I say, I don't understand. if they had a good experience, why wouldn't they want to remember it? God says, good question. A person has to pass through their mind before they can get back to their body. That is where things can get a bit twisted. And that is why they dream scary dreams. I say, I see. There's mental confusion. God says yes, but it is for good cause. When someone's consciousness returns to the body, the mind must paint pictures to try to explain to them what they have just experienced on their journey. This is not an easy task. When nothing in their mind represents anything they may have experienced while they were out. For example, some other dimension. Spirit says, to many people, that is downright frightening. I say, I can see so much of myself in that explanation. God says, that's good, Keith. Take it all in. And I in turn am asking you to take all of this in. It'll help amalgamate you to your spiritual self. And you will no longer see the intervals between sleeping and waking. Because you will start to truly, dear Lord, you will start to initiate, integrate, and graduate into that experience of being crossfaded, dovetailed. It's all the same experience. And you begin to feel the density of this life, this reality, and the subtlety in the lighter bodies of the dreamscape life. And then you will see that you are the master dream weaver. I've been doing this so long, it's getting really easy. And many of you are doing this, and congratulations for those who need a fire lit under your backside. There you go. I can see so much of myself in that explanation. God says, that is good, Keith. Take it all in and do the work that is required to free yourself from your fears so that you may be truly awake. I ask God, what does it mean to be truly awake? Spirit says, you are spiritually awake when you no longer need to fall asleep to experience the soul. And once you are illuminated, you will not experience a loss of awareness during the time your body needs rest. Is there a difference between enlightenment and being awake? God says, enlightenment is the process of awakening. Awake is the constant awareness that happens as a result of any true understanding. Once you realize something, it can never be unrealized, for it is impossible to do away with what you know. Your ongoing expansion just keeps on going. What will happen after I awaken? You will find yourself in another reality, another dream that will continue until you graduate to dreamer status, unity with God, God realization. I say, you mean there's more I have to do after I awaken? And Spirit says, wow. Spirit says, when I ask the question, you mean there's more I have to do after I awaken? As I said before, my reality is for those who really want it. Yes, the road is a long one and it will take time, but that road will eventually lead you to eternity. And when you get there, all of your struggles will be forgotten. Right? I need some water. So for those who have any questions or want to pose your dream for me to help you interpret, I can give you what I think it means, but you can take the reins of what I offer and use that as a key to explore more about what you think may be going on in your dreamscape. Hello, Catherine. Hello, Ginger. Elaine. Everyone, thank you for being here. Hello, Crystal. John, Nathan. All these sexy, dynamite, beautiful people up here. So take this time. I'm going to put in a little music while you post your dream. Again, 2 paragraphs at most. Please, 1 paragraph if best. If you want to call me and share your dream, because it might be a little lengthy, might be fun. I'll give you my phone number. There is my phone number, but before you call, say, yes, Keith, I will call. All right. People got some stuff, some dreams already ready. Love it. You did the work. The first one I see on this list is Peggy. I have not seen Peggy since I was about 15 or 16 years old. Hi, Peggy. Becky says, I've had dreams of loved ones who've passed. I could feel them at my core. It was a total blessing. When you dream of your loved ones, you are not dreaming. You don't ever have to ask anybody ever again. You don't have to ask another psychic. You don't have to doubt it ever again. When your loved ones show up in your dreamscape experience, you are being visited. As was read in the Divine Principle, the reason is because during sleep, we lose the very awareness that our mind and body crave. So we're open to the experiences of the dream realm. If you see your loved ones in your sleep, you are being experienced. This bottle right here, Dream Leaf Dream Enhancement. There's nothing in here that is not good for you. It's all herbs. And at the company, they have a sense of humor. They made it a 2-pilled program. The red pill or the blue pill, just like the Matrix. Dream Leaf Sleep Enhancement. The first night I used it, I had an experience with 3 of my deceased loved ones. All in the same experience. My mom, my godfather, my brother. All in the same experience. Dream Leaf Dream Enhancement. It's like $25 a month. If your dreams and being conscious and lucid are that important to you and you got $25, get it. Contact me. I'll tell you how to get it. You can find it on Google. So we were with Peggy. Elwood says, I forget my dreams most times. You want any more? You have to want it. Tell yourself at night, tonight not only am I going to dream. When I start dreaming, I'm going to say, oh my God, is this real? Is this dreaming? And you say, yes. You go, oh my gosh, I have a body on the bed. And you'll become hyper-present just like that. Also been told I will receive a gift from a spiritual teacher, a very humble man. Great. Sharon says, I don't dream, not that I remember. I'm looking. There's Peggy. Okay, back to it. Remember, if you want to call in, my number's in the thread. Say, yes, Keith, I will call before you call. That way I can prepare. Peggy says, remember, I called you a few years ago. Yes, I do remember that. You asking about what was happening to me because I felt wide awake, but I couldn't move. I could hear water running, but I was taking a nap. And no one else was in the house and couldn't wake up. It was weird. Always know that water in your dream experience represents emotion. Before I get into that, anytime you have a sleep experience and you are awake, and you think you're awake, so you think you want to get out of the bed and you cannot move, your best ploy is to not freak out. It's called sleep paralysis. It's called the hypnagogic state. It does not mean that there's some demon sitting on your chest holding you down. Well, Keith, when I had this experience, there was a demon sitting on my chest holding me down. It's because you've created it. No, Keith, this is not what, fundamental religion says. There are demons in there and I got to be careful. You have created it by your belief in what you thought was happening. And because there's no time and no physicality, it manifests to your liking right then and there, and it sits on your chest to convey to you that something is controlling me, holding me down. This is not the truth. It is not. Your fear, your self-induced fear, turned on this demon to hold you down. Or there's another one called the old hag. This old woman supposedly goes around the universe finding vulnerable people and sitting on their chest and laughing at them, weighing them down. It's an illusion. But water, back to water, it represents emotion. The water is like a tsunami or swirling and you can't find balance and you're becoming afraid. It represents emotional imbalance. First aspect of how you can interpret a dream. What did that dog mean that Keith talked about earlier? Do I find dogs to be loyal best friends, or am I scared to death of them? So in that case of the dog, it's relative to the person. But water usually always represents emotion. The water's calm, then it means, at least in this dream you're having, water is only one image to represent something that in said life experience that you're calm about. Maybe the other parts of the dream other than the water have to do with a unicorn or a fairy. So maybe you have a calmness about you. And it's very likely that if you keep doing this kind of dream work, that you could tap into the mysticism. Through your calmness, through your meditation, you can tap into the world of fairies and unicorns. Maybe in same said dream, though there are fairies and unicorns, the water is very turbulent. Maybe it scares you to tap into your spiritual self deeper, though you want to, that you have a fear about it because of the hag or the demon that might have, or you've been taught could sit on your chest and hold you down. You are the dream weaver. Dream weaver. So it really is all about what these icons, these symbolisms in your dreams mean to you. Again, if you want to, in the thread now, post your dream for me to help you interpretate, get to a space of clarity, do that now. Again, if you have sleep paralysis, it's because you are halfway in and out of your body. And so as a fail-safe mechanism, so you don't fall down the stairs, break your neck while your body is unconscious and you're not fully in it, you're prevented from moving, which is the prime opportunity for you to launch yourself into a lucid experience. Think of Hawaii. You think about coconuts, palm trees, South Pacific, hula girls, pineapple, and you are there just like that. And if you see people, you are truly watching them. And if you saw one of your friends in Hawaii, after the experience, you can call them and tell them what you saw them doing. They say, there is no way possible you can know that I just did that. You say, yes, it is, because I just tapped into another part of my soul, which is called you, John Doe, whoever they are. And my consciousness was present. Basically, God is omnipresent. You connected to another aspect of your seeing capacity within your soul. That is the truth. Don't let anyone sway you any different. That sounds arrogant, Keith. I'm okay with that. I know what the color rust is. I know what the color rust is. Someone say, well, Keith, that's just your opinion. I, as well as you, know what the color rust is. I know that this stone right here is green. I know it. I know it. Because as the collective, as a collective, everyone will say this is rust and this is green. So we have a baseline drawn. Sue says, a few weeks ago I had a dream that a huge dragon gave me a bone comb. No idea what it means. The dragon felt familiar to me. What I mean is I wasn't scared. That said, I could feel how powerful a being he was. That is delicious, Sue. You know, you already gave yourself the interpretation. But I'll add to the pie. A huge dragon. The fact the word huge in and of itself is just that. It's huge. You had a very huge monumental experience. We talked about, are you afraid of dogs or do you love dogs? And whichever one you choose is how your experience is going to play out with the dog. You can bet your sweet ass on that. Let's launch ourselves to the HBO series, The Game of Thrones. The Queen, her dragons. These dragons to her are protection. The Chinese people, the Chinese myth, the Chinese lore will talk about how dragons and fu dogs are protectors. They are gargoyles. They are guardians. Dragons supposedly come from heaven as guardians for the Chinese. And you said huge dragon, Sue. In the Game of Thrones, if you're on the Queen's side, dragons rock. If you're an enemy of the Queen, dragons so not rock. It's all a matter of interpretation and which side you're on. This is powerful. This is how you begin to overlay your consciousness and your sleepscape to open-eyed reality. Sue, you had a huge dragon, a huge, not only in size, but huge implying presence. Dragon, protector, guardian. Something you want as a friend between now and to eternity. No idea what it means. Sure, you know what it means. You said so in your description here. The dragon felt familiar to me. This could have been truly, it all is, but metaphorically, but also, this could have been a visit from God itself. What is the absolute power and protector? God. But it showed up in a dragon in a way that you like. I actually get the feeling that you like dragons, Sue. Sue, do you like dragons? And if so, if you have an affinity and you adore dragons, why wouldn't God use a dragon to show up in your sleepscape to say, hey, my beautiful daughter, I love you, let you know that you're safe, I am always here, and when you want to climb atop me and let me soar away into the heavens, has been said that dragons live and protect and are guardians of. You said, I wasn't scared. I could feel how powerful of a being he was. It was. There you have it, dear. Now, everything in the dream is a metaphor of you. What does a flower mean? I love flowers. They're beautiful. Then you take that understanding and that interpretation and you apply it to all the other symbols in the dream. It is truly decoding your experience with all these icons, all these symbols about what they mean to you. 3 plus 3 equals 6. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Now that I know dogs, because I love dogs, represent loyalty or fear, whichever one applies to you. Water represents, I love water because I swim in it all the time. I love the ocean. I swim in it. In fact, even turbulent water no longer makes me afraid because I respect its power. And you figure all this out, and your dreams will begin to spell themselves out to you. Ali says, my daydreams have been about me being in a rainforest, surrounded by beautiful falls, green plants, bright flowers, birds chirping. I'm alone, wearing an armor with a sword. Wow! I also have pointy ears. Maybe the elf in the splash screen on the banner was for you. I seem like I'm running from something, yet also happy or relieved, like I'm free, escaped from something or someone. Ali, I have felt that about you before, and I told you that you are more, when I was in Louisiana, I told you, you are more illumined than you think. I absolutely am. I'm sure of it, that I've even told you that you came from the fairy kingdom. The angelic crossfade, crossover, angelic fairy kingdom. And this is not just a dream you had, past tense. This is a place that the other day, or that when you daydream, that you open the portal and you are able to see another aspect of who you are in your nature, in your fairy angelic nature. That's all you're doing. Your mind's not concocting this. You are living in that experience right now. But right now you're aware of me sharing with you about the right nowness of that experience in this virtual room with you. When you daydream, you're just turning it on, opening up the door, and you peeking into another aspect of yourself. So you are able and fortunate to experience 2 dimensions. I'm going to say 4 dimensions. This dimension you're having with me, the dimension that you open up when you daydream, the fairy, angelic, unicorn, waterfall, forest dimension. So you are able to experience 2. Your 3rd dimension is the one you have at night when you go to sleep and you have a dream. Now your 4th dimension for you in this way would be in this room with Keith, when I daydream and open up the gate and see my fairy existence, my angelic existence. 3rd experience, when I dream at night. 4th experience, when I dream and I'm so present that I become aware that I am dreaming. That is 4 dimensions that, Ali, you are able to play in the arenas of. Waterfalls. You use the word beautiful waterfalls. Paradise. Green plants. Lush, like you lived on, what's the island in Hawaii? Kauai. Wearing armor with a sword. You are protected. You have your shield. That's it there. In fact, this is not more of a dream experience for you. In this experience for you, you are having a conscious experience of another aspect of your multidimensional self. That's what's happening with you. That's a fact. Dana says, I've had a dream for about 2 weeks. All I see is Mick Jagger, Robert Plant, Paul McCartney, Freddie Mercury, and Eddie Vedder. I am so jealous. They all are performing and seem to be my friends. I am always with each of them as a counselor or teacher of some sort. I've racked my brain for the meaning. Thank you. What comes to mind, a heart for you, Dana, is this Mick Jagger, this Robert Plant, this Paul McCartney, this Freddie Mercury, this Eddie Vedder. They all seem to be performing and seem to be my friend. I'm always with each of them as a counselor or a teacher of some sort. What I think this means for you, Dana, is not necessarily, but in some aspect, you are hanging out with Robert, Mick, Paul, Freddie, Eddie. But I think this is metaphorical, at least for you, in my interpretation for you. But your interpretation is most important. Is that even people you have looked up to in your life, that you're sharing your spiritual wisdom with. That's what you're doing in the dream metaphor experience. All these rock gods, you play counselor role. In fact, I'm sure of it, that's what you're doing in this period of your life. people who you have looked up to, who have may not given you one glance of attention, one iota of thought until now, are beginning to pay attention to what you say. I know for a fact that is happening to you. People you may have looked up to in school who never really gave you a second thought, a second glance, hits the word for about 2 weeks, second. And even when you started your spiritual path, may have even scoffed and or laughed at you, or beginning to listen and take notice. I love it. You just climbed up a rung on the ladder, dear, of awareness and counselorship, helping other people by being your full of burst of light self. Bubbly, that's a compliment. Vibrant, on fire. Your on fireness, Dana, is infectious. I need some water. Excuse me. I think that's what's happening, Dana. People from your past that you've looked up to who didn't give you 1 second glance and are now watching this little powerhouse of energy just explode or ignite onto the scene. Basically, you're becoming the rock star, the one that's in the light, in the limelight, metaphorically. I think this dream experience for you was more metaphorical than having a lucid experience, being truly in spiritual consciousness with this one. But again, please follow your interpretation. I think this is all metaphorical for you, and a beautiful and powerful one at that. Hello, Donna. Hello, Mr. Wilson. Wilson, rather. Crystal. Back to more interpretation. Chloe says, Paul McCartney and I were talking, but George was in me, or was George? George was the mystic, right? Good one, Chloe. I was back in the Beatles like I was back when I was 5 years old. Paul kept ignoring me. The others were in another room. I get the feeling, Chloe, that Paul might be your fancy favorite Beatle. But even so, George is the one you know without a doubt you are most connected to and most connected with. Because it favored you, it mirror reflected to you your own mysticism. Paul was just a little more sharp in the front. Well, I can't really say that. I was going to say a little more musical than George, because they all have their power. But just follow me here. Paul was more of the guy than George was. Everybody liked Paul. George was for those who were mystics. Sarah says, I have a reoccurring dream of a wire being in my tooth, and I'm also always trying to remove it. But the twang taste in my mouth, probably from the metallic, was like almost a low vibe shock. Whew, I've had dreams of being electrocuted or being shocked, being buzzed. I know the loss of teeth is removing something that's being weighing on my journey bit. The biggest part of it is the metal wire that is stuck. I can't pull out uncomfortable feeling out of my mouth. Like licking a 9-volt battery. That kind of feeling. But I am awake dreaming is what's been manifesting life. Trusting. Yes, Sarah, I know that place. That metallic place. It can be very not fun. Sometimes pins are stuck in me all over. And it doesn't hurt. It's not like they're being stuck in me. It's like they already stuck in me as I awaken. And I feel that presence of that. I know the place of the vibrational energy that feels not like vibration, like I'm lifting in vibration and becoming vibration as in my spirit, but as if I'm being slightly electrocuted. It's not fun. My thought for you, dear, is I know it's natural to want to say, don't want this to go away. Just like that big dog we talked about earlier that you might be afraid of. If you shift perception, then the dog becomes a best friend. Same idea. In this opportunity of being shocked, instead of being shocked by it, I don't mean only electrocuted as in shocked by it, but being in shock, in awe by it, like, oh my God, I'm in shock that this is happening. Fall into it. And in so doing, you're not resisting, because that's why in electronics, they call some of these little things inside of a radio or computer, they call them resistors or capacitors. Well, don't be the resistor to resist the energy. Let the energy be, and you become the radio, the whole radio. You can do what you want with the energy. But Akita feels like I'm being electrocuted until you stop allowing it and believing that you're being electrocuted. Just shift and use the energy in your favor to create an experience for yourself. I know it can be a little tough to do, Sarah, when the experience is happening, because it's like, whoa. Teeth represent making decisions. Right here. One about teeth. I'm getting to your dream dictionary definition. Teeth. To dream that you have rotten or decaying teeth implies that you may have said something that you should have. You understand it? Check that out. Very simple. Simple. Teeth. I speak through my teeth, right? And if I say something I shouldn't, maybe in a dream it's trying to reveal to me I'm saying nasty things, rotten things about people or to people. To dream that your teeth is sparkling or gleaming signifies happiness or fulfilling wishes. I'm looking to dream that your teeth are falling out and you try to refit them back in your mouth signifies a lack of self-confidence and embarrassment. Well, of course, who wants their teeth to fall out, right? Look at people who have a difficult time with teeth. They try to hide them with their hand. They're embarrassed. You are afraid that others will know of your shortcomings if you have dreams about teeth falling out. If you acted calmly in your dream, then it may point to how you can make the best of any situation. Same thing, check it out, with the electricity. The needles being shocked. Instead of freaking out about it, if you act calmly about it, you can make best of the situation. And no longer see, oh my God, I'm being electrocuted by this power source, but to, oh my God, I'm plugged into a generator, a power source. Now I can amp myself up. I can turn up my light. And then you begin to move into the realms of the angelic. Because you're aware of the source of the experience, the source of the energy. That's how that would apply for you, dear. Reoccurring means God, your guides, all the way up through the hierarchy to Creator, is reminding you, because it's reoccurring, because this is very integral for you right now in your life. The information that I brought through this live feed and what I read to you, and the very fact that you posed this question says your heart is open to receive, because you could have selected many of dreams that you've had, but you didn't. You brought this one to the fore because it has priority over the others as to why it's reoccurring. It's priority right now, Sarah. Do the work behind it. Find yourself in it. Get a glass of water and charge it with your intention before you go to bed. I will experience this again tonight. And I will do it consciously. And I will be successful in my endeavor of transcending it to the next level. And you drink the water. Keith, this is nonsense. Okie doke. No, it's not. It's not nonsense. Because water has memory. By a lake, water remembers every scurrying creature. By a lake, water remembers every flying creature. Water remembers everything. Your body is made of, however, 3/4 water. The earth is the same. Life is water. Water is life-giving. So if life is God and God is life, then God is also water. And it's your intentions to charge the water that brings about the omnipresent experience to shift your soul to the very place that you are summoning to be. You can also purchase these pills. Dream Leaf for dream enhancement. All herbs. It's all just a very simple excuse to remind you in said experience to illuminate. But it also does have a physical property as to why the water becomes charged with your intention to become lucid and conscious when you sleep at night. That is how you do that, dear. Good, Becky. I'm glad you're getting it. Trudy says, I know that's true. Dreamt of my deceased husband. So real. It is so real. Every night before you go to sleep, call them in your ident. What you're doing is you're saying, honey, come visit me. I'm leaving the door open. Or like Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you. And it will begin to reoccur. Peggy says, haha, I was in a recliner taking a nap. Yeah, a lot of times people have lucid experiences, even hypnagogic state of sleep paralysis, when they're napping. Because you're not falling in deep enough to fall through the hypnagogic or the sleep paralysis state. You're just somewhat taking a nap. And so you're vibrating on the plateau of in and out of that nap. Even think about it. When you take a nap, sometimes you take a hard one. But most of the time you take a nap, you're popping in and out of the nap. That's a great time for you to leave your experience, leave your body. But also a good time for you to have sleep paralysis. But don't freak out. It's the most opportune time to say, wow, just like plugging into the electricity. Just like visiting the deceased loved one. Just like experiencing a big dog, whether you're afraid of dogs or whether you think dogs are great and your best friend and they're loyal. It's all about your awareness. It's all about being with a dragon, like Sue said. If you're in the Game of Thrones and you're on the side of the queen who has the dragons, you love dragons. Dear Lord, you love dragons. If you're not on the queen's side, dear Lord, you hate dragons. Nicolette asks, hello, Daphne. Hello, Kayleen, beautiful Kayleen. Nicolette asked a question. What about dreaming about a huge golden eagle? Huge, to me, represents power. Power. You stand next to a big person, you don't ever want to get in a confrontation with them because they could pommel you. It's kind of how the mind works. It represents power. Grandiose, majesty, majestic, universal, huge, power. Almost beyond my ability to grasp. I at least know it's huge. Golden. The golden child. The value of gold. Knock on the golden door to God. Gold is absolute worth. Self-worth at that. Gold. It's golden. Everybody wants gold. In fact, gold crosses the currency language barrier. Eagle represents absolute freedom, soaring, spiritual liberation. Nicolette, you dreamed about a huge golden eagle? I want some of what you're taking. This is an aspect of your liberation, dear. This is an absolute manifestation of your true self. God showing up in the form of an eagle in a way that you understand it. It's representative of you, your soul. Do you have a spirit totem that's an eagle? Do you love eagles? Does this happen often? Hello, Angela. Elwood says, I was born in the year of a dragon. Again, this is not only metaphorical to your closed-eyed sleepscape experience. This is also imperative that you understand this about your open eyes in what you would call reality, which is actually still another form of sleeping because we're not all spiritually awake yet. Everything in your dreams, absolutely metaphorically and to the point. Because there's no time mean to you when you wake up and you begin to interpret them. What they mean. Metaphorically. I love dogs. Well, absolutely, I love this aspect of my life that's taking place in this dream. So what is this dog that represents to me an aspect of my life or myself that I'm loving? Well, then find the other dream symbols and find out what they mean to you. And then you begin to see the picture. It becomes revealed. All the puzzle pieces begin to fit. Now, in your open-eyed life, it's still metaphorical, but there is the buffer of time that you can begin to manipulate your life, yourself. See, when you're in a dream experience, you have to do it right then and there because you're only sleeping for so many hours and it seems so hyper real and so hyper fast. But when you're present in this experience, because you're not sleeping on your bed, time is drawn out so you can begin to manipulate and work with and sculpt your life. Right? Elwood says, I dreamed I was a green dragon fighting a red one in the ocean, towering the world. Elwood, you can interpret that yourself. I was a green dragon fighting a red one. I was having a dream. Dreams do become realized. I proved that at the beginning of this presentation when I told you I had a dream experience about this man who said, come to India. I got a phone call, a miracle. I never told this person. They called me and gave me a first-class round-trip ticket. That dream became realized. Dreams become realized. So Elwood, understand that you had a shift in spirit. What does green mean to you? What does red mean to you? What does the ocean mean to you? What does towering over the world mean to you? And then you will begin to see your interpretation. Your soul is always speaking to you through your dreams, through your daydreaming. Allie has daydreams. It's her soul saying, ha! Do you remember this aspect of who you are, dear one? Anytime you have a daydream, it's your soul saying, dear one, do you remember this aspect of who you are? Do you want to realize this aspect of who you are? That's why it's called daydreaming. My open eyes during the day, I'm dreaming of it. And when you begin to fire up the engine of your divine fire that comes from your soul, your dreams become realized on all levels. Hello, Lee. Lai. Hello, Linda. Elaine says, hi, Elaine. I have dreams of working with others to cross or heal or to expand. And though you are doing this with others, it is parallel with your own healing, dear. Also know that there's an exchange of energy, an exchange of experience, an exchange in dialogue taking place. And I think if you become aware, even more aware of this, Elaine, while it's happening, I'm not saying that you're not already, but oh my God, I am truly aware this is happening. You will begin to see the language. You begin to see the spinning and the reciprocalness of the energy between you and they. Very, very cool. That's just really cool shit, man. Really, really cool. Some say I come to them when in need. Well, I would love and accept, allow, and appreciate if you can pinpoint me one night, Elaine, and target me and come as a blessing aspect of myself and do some energy work on it. And for my highest good, I accept that from you. And I'll do the same. How's that? Becky says, I'm loving this conversation. Great. Hello, Andrea. Hello, Lisa. So, hello, Joelle. Hello, Karen. Nicolette, you are welcome. She says, wow, Keith, thank you. You are welcome, Angel. Again, if you want to stay, anyone wants to stay in contact with me as I do these Bursts of Light live, notify me when Keith goes live. I love you to be a part of my family, and I yours. Hi, Karen Lee. So, everyone, Maria, I didn't say hi to you if I had not. Hello, dear. I am like so vibrating right now. I need food. I am like really, really shaking. I need to ground this vessel, this body. Go back to the beginning of this presentation and you will find out how to interpret your dreams. If you want me to do more dream work with you, contact me at keithanthonyblanchard@gmail.com and say, Keith, help me with this particular dream. I'll give you a free session, but you have to contact me at keithanthonyblanchard@gmail.com and say, Keith, I want a free session with you about dreams. I will devote 30, 45 kind of minutes to you to bring that through for you as we become linked, as we dream of being connected yet again in spirit and in soul. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. Remember, what you think is real, dear one, because I love you, soul now steps to the fore and begins to speak. What you think is real, dear ones, you are dreaming. Equally, what you think is dream is also real. And do not lose sight of the real truth that God is the dreamer behind both. And when you realize this dream will come into fruition for you. And the you that sleeps with your eyes open will awaken. And you will begin to experience your soul. And as you expand from now till forever. Live in the light. I love you.